Welcome to a screencast for Add Polynomials Intro. In this screencast, we are going to learn how to add polynomials in a variety of settings. To be successful with this lesson, you should already know how to combine like terms. After we learn this lesson, we will also learn how to subtract polynomials and then add and subtract polynomials in other settings. Here's our first example. We're going to add, and our answer should be in polynomial standard form. That means that the exponents should be the highest on the left and the smallest on the right. Now, as you can see, we have put the add-ins in parentheses. By the way, add-ins means things you add. So when adding, you really don't need those parentheses. So the first thing that I'm going to do is get rid of the parentheses. Now I'm going to look for my like terms. So remember, like terms means same exact variable with same exact exponent. And as I look, I do not have a like term with the negative 3x to the fourth. I do have two x to the third terms, and I have two x squared terms. Now, you can choose to rewrite your terms so that they are closer together. Something to be careful of is that this is like a negative 4x to the third. So make sure that you're paying attention to those operations. Now, when you are rewriting them, this is not something I would expect you to do on a quiz. This is just an optional step. If it helps you keep things clear, then include it. Otherwise, don't worry about it. But if you choose to put your like terms close together, that's fine. So seeing as negative 3x to the fourth had no other like term, we're going to keep it as is. Positive 2x to the third minus 4x to the third, that's going to be a negative 2x to the third. And then a 2x squared plus a 7x squared, that's going to leave us with a 9x squared. And that is the answer. That's what happens when we're adding. So when you're adding polynomials, it's really just a matter of combining your like terms. For our next example, this is in a different setting. Here we're going to use like some substitution. We have two polynomials. One is called A, one is called B, and they want us to add those two polynomials together. So in terms of substitution, I always think it's a good idea to put your substituted values in parentheses. When we are adding, it's not that big of a deal, but as we start to subtract, multiply, divide, then it becomes a huge deal. So, like I did for the other problem, I recognize that we are adding two add-ins together, and what we are going to do is just first remove the parentheses. If you want to, you can rewrite so that your like terms are closer together. So we had two v squared like terms, we had two v like terms, and we had two constants. And again, pay close attention to those operations because it might be acting as a negative. So I'll just combine my like terms. That would be a negative v squared. That would be 2v, and that would be negative 5. Oh yeah, so that is your optional step. And then our final answer is negative v squared plus 2v minus 5. So I'll just write that up there. So when you are adding polynomials, again, it's really just all about combining your like terms. So hopefully in this screencast you have learned how to add polynomials in a variety of settings.